Okay, after watching this episode, I'm starting to get the connection between the show and the manga. You know, because remember, the manga came out first, and then the anime did. But the anime is completely different from the manga. And it's different because, if you haven't noticed, in the manga, the characters act differently, even in the anime. But I'm starting to realize now that the anime is a prequel to the manga. After watching this episode, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense. I'm like, how does this connect to the manga? The manga's own thing, or what? But then I realized, yeah, there's a connection here. It's past and future, where things are different. In a way, as you can see, for instance, one of the prime examples is with Laylops. In the manga, Laylops doesn't talk, not even to Yohane. She just barks and stuff, or give her a nudge here and there, like what dogs do. And after watching this episode, it explains a lot. And even with Mari herself, you watch the episode of Mari in the anime. Mari was a very closed off person, kept herself isolated. Her anxiety of being around people made her be by herself. And then in the manga, she has a more of an explosive personality where she doesn't mind doing some crazy things with Yohane because this is afterwards, after she meets Yohane, after she becomes friends with her, after she becomes friends with everybody else. She is more of her person that she is in the original world, where Mari's the explosive, cheery, hunky dory kind of person. Okay, it's making more sense in a way. So I'm glad I'm starting to see the line that's happening here. Very appreciated. It just took some time, which I appreciate the wait. It is telefried the bot, which is nice. So seeing that, I enjoy this. This was a very powerful. This show, like I said before, Love Life episodes always had those main defining character episodes. Those episodes where you get a deep dive into the character and their psyche and what will they do to overcome their trials. I've always enjoyed that when it comes to Love Life series. It's always the characters that pull you in, and the characters really do make you want to root for them a lot and stuff. Seeing what they're going through and how can they overcome it, and how Yohane did was just so amazing. How she did, she's with Laylops, feeling guilty of herself. This is what you call the fall and the rise of the episode, when you have these kind of adventurous kinds of stories. Yohane has fallen. She's always falling, but she gets back up because of Laylops. But Laylops wasn't there this time, but she realized Laylops was always there for her, no matter what, even when Laylops isn't there. And it's going through even Laylops herself isn't a perfectly made character. Even Laylops have their own flaws. Their fear of being useless and not being able to be there for Yohane at the same time. We all know Yohane had flaws, all kinds of flaws. But as for Laylops, she had her own flaws. And not just because she was scared of bugs, but also because she was afraid to lose what she had with Yohane and stuff. And they start to really explain more and more into the episode. All the current events were important in a way, but it was mainly the past flashbacks, understanding what's happening, where Yohane finally understands what Laylops was trying to tell her. And it shows, I guess, that Yohane always had the magic inside of her, whether it's a twig or a dog-like staff. She always had a magic inside her. All the staff does is it shows proof of her power. It's all it is. She can have the twig today, and she'll still have her power. And then, of course, the sigmas on the staff are a representation of the bond she has with the other girls, and all that needed to complete the bond was the one she had with her sister, Laylops. It was a long time ago when she did. She cast a spell wishing that Laylops was a good sister because she had problems with talking with other people. So she cast a spell on Laylops to become her sister, the one that she can talk to and stuff. And Laylops became that big sister, where Laylops would encourage her, inspire her, and even let her win on occasions to boost her confidence. But it turns out Yohane always knew all along. So there were just two sisters just looking out for each other, which was nice. And she went to pursue her dreams, but Laylops was scared that if she would go, she would lose that bond that she created that day. So, in a way, she was being kind of in her own way, selfish and spiteful and stuff. So when they first split it apart, it was very bad. They did not at all get along. And that happens sometimes where you have these moments where you're leaving and it was someone that you thought was special to you, and it just you ended on bad terms. But this time they were able to fix things better this time. YOHANE was hoping that it would be different, where she would go back this time, but she'll have our support. But Layla was doing the same thing all over again. So I realized that Layla wasn't being mean or selfish, and she was, but she was also she was afraid. That's what I should say. Layla was afraid. That was what I was looking for to say in this video. She was afraid of letting go, just as much as YOHANE was. But now YOHANE is getting her confidence. Turns out Layla needed confidence too. Confidence that they don't need to speak to each other to have a bond. They can just be there together. Because humans and their animals can be together all the time. They don't talk to each other like that. They don't fully understand their languages. They just be around each other. They feel with each other no matter what, And that's what they need all along. That final push to prove what they need to move along. It wasn't her moving along by going off into the city and she pursuing her dreams. It was showing that she can be with Layla and then Layla can be with her on equal standing, where they both can move on and still be together, That they don't need to talk to each other, understand each other in order for them to be together. And that was the proof. And of course, a beautiful song was played. Beautiful song. I guess YOHANE's dress. It was nice. It was showing, in a way, it was bittersweet, in a way. Not too bitter, but it was just a little bit bitter, but mostly sweet. Because it's showing how her bond she has with Layla, showing how she was lost without her, but now with Layla, she was able to held her head high to face tomorrow and to gain new friends as well. While at the same time, saying a piece of goodbye to her. Almost as if Layla gave back the magic that YOHANE gave to her all those years ago. So when the song was over, instead of talking back to YOHANE through their human language, instead it was through a bark, proving that yeah, it kind of sucks, but it doesn't matter. Layla is still here, whether she can speak my language or not. Layla is still here, and she will still have my back. So they got over that hurdle. They had their fall, now they have their rise, and now it's off to face the calamity. And speaking of the calamity, they don't fully get rid of the calamity, I'm guessing, in a way, because even reading the manga, there'll be remnants of it that they're dealing with every now and then in the manga. So there's that as well. So that explains a lot. So even after this show is over with, Calamity is just there, just hanging around, proving that you can't really get rid of evil all the time, which is very realistic. So I do enjoy that part. So yeah, man, one more episode left, baby. One more. Wow. What a ride, man. Like I said, this is amazing. You are amazing. You are amazing. Isn't she amazing? Doesn't she? Maybe I'm getting things wrong, because in the original YOHANE world, she's not really YOHANE. She's Yoshika. In the Sunshine universe, she's Yoshika. But in this mirror universe, she is actually YOHANE. And both of them do act differently, in a way, despite them looking alike. YOHANE really is her own character. So despite how I keep calling her YOHANE, this is Yoshika. Yoshika, not YOHANE. YOHANE is completely different from Yoshika. It's just a persona that Yoshika has created, and we're seeing YOHANE's own story. She is not part of Aquas. She is not a school idol. YOHANE is a girl who wishes to be a singer, a performer, but had no drive to truly do it until now. She's in the world of magic and science, fictional science. She has a talking dog, and she is the main character in this universe. Chika is not the main character, it's YOHANE. So there's a difference between the two, and I'm glad I finally came on terms to accept that. After all these years. Well, anyways, that's all I got for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This has been Madcrownxox on anime. Signing out.